Hello friends and welcome back to another gardening video. Today I am going to tell you about the plant Tradescantia zebrina, that is also commonly called as the wandering Jew or the inch plant. This beautiful plant is the perfect plant for beginner gardeners as it's both easy to propagate and is a fast grower with minimal care. It's commonly called as the zebrina plant as the striations on the upper leaf looks like the striations of a zebra and it has a beautiful purple underside color. As the leaf nodes on the stem is supposed to be 1 inch apart, it is also called as the inch plant. This plant does not need direct sunlight and does best in indirect sun as the direct sun can fade away the leaf color. Propagation is very easy. All you need are some stem cuttings and I am going to tell you 4 methods by which you can propagate this wandering Jew plant. I have grown this in a pot but it looks really nice on a hanging planter. So for the first method of propagation, all you need to do is trim off some branches of the wandering Jew plant, and as you can see these are the nodes over here. So I am going to trim off just below the node so that each piece contains 1 to 2 nodes, and I'm going to remove off the lower leaf so that it is easier to put in the soil. And for the first method I'm going to directly plant these cuttings in the soil, and the soil requirements are also very easy. It requires a well-drained soil which should be moist but it should not be soggy. So just take the stem cuttings and push them in the soil up till the node, and soon enough you'll have lots of tiny wandering Jew plants, but make sure that the nodes are below the soil. So this is the easiest method and all you need to do is water it a little bit, and water it only when the top layer becomes dry, because too much watering can lead to root and stem rot. The best part about these plants are that they do not need much nutrients to grow and they like a little bit of humid atmosphere, because if the soil gets too dry then the leaves start drying off. For the second method of propagation, I have taken a little bit of longer stems having 2 to 3 nodes, and I am going to remove off the lower leaves as usual. And all you need for this method is simple water. So take a container which has some fresh water and remove the lower leaves and put these cuttings in the water and leave it in a partially shaded area where indirect sunlight is available, and within a few days you will see that from the nodes rooting has started to happen. I'll be showing the results of all these methods once I show you all the ways to propagate. So the third method of propagation is this which I'm showing over here. During the rainy season the nodes start giving off roots, as you can see over here. So you can cut off these branches with the roots, and all you need to do is take these branches, remove the lower leaf and just push it in the soil, and you'll get a new plant from this stem cutting. So this one also I'm going to put in the soil. So this one already has some roots. This happens during the rainy season when there is a lot of humidity in the air. Now jumping off to the fourth method of propagation, over here I am taking a small container and I am filling it up with soil. Then I am going to take the node of the plant and push it in the soil of the little container, and I am not going to trim off the plant from the beginning. I am just going to put the node in the soil and then fill up the container with some more soil, and I am going to keep it like that so that rooting happens. So this branch is going to get the nutrition from the parent plant and it's also going to give off new roots. If you want, you can put a pin, U-pin, to keep the branch in place and then spray some water on top of the container to keep it moist. And now for the results. For the method number 1, as you can see, which we had grown in the soil, after a few days the roots have started coming out from the node, and this also contains the method number 3 which already had the roots. So as you can see, more roots have started coming out. So in this method, by directly putting the stem cuttings in the soil, you can easily propagate them. If you keep them for longer, the roots will become longer. Also, these plants are air purifying plants, so it's very beneficial, but since its leaves and stem contain calcium oxalate crystals, it can be dangerous for pets. so be careful. Now coming to the next method, which is the water propagation method, and also one of my favorite methods. Over here you can see after a few days, when I took out all the stem cuttings, the roots had formed really nicely. From all the nodes which were dipped in the water, you can see that rooting has happened, and I like this method of propagation more because the roots are really longer. You get longer roots in a really short time, as you can see. Now let us check out the fourth method of propagation. So for the fourth method, now what you need to do is trim off the branch from the main plant and remove out the plant from the soil to see that the roots would have formed. So this is also again a very easy method. And finally, all you need to do is take these cuttings and plant them in the soil. As for fertilizer requirement, all I do is give it a very dilute mustard cake solution once or twice in a year, and this is sufficient. To make the plant bushy, pinching is the best method. So this is all there is about this wandering Jew plant and propagation methods. I hope you found this video useful, and thanks for watching.